afternoon, everybody. My name is Joe. This here is Patrick. We are the Brews Brothers, but in this scenario, we are the least important people at the table.
Yes.
That is 100% true. We're actually really happy and really glad to announce that we are here with Brian Perry, owner of Perry's Ice Cream. Bringing him on board today because we are releasing our third installment of our Perry's Mashup, our Pumpkin Pie Porter. We're also sitting here with Jason Crosette. He is our brew master over here. So he's here to talk about the beer and ice cream.
On the pronunciation of my last name.
Yeah, so we've got a couple things. We've got an exciting announcement that we want to tell all of you about. We are extending the mashup series. Originally, we started with 3 beers, and we're going to extend that to a total of 8 beers. Run it all the way till May, till Memorial Day of this upcoming year, and the goal is to produce $10,000 in donations for Women and Children's Hospital.
Yeah, because $1 of every pint sold in-house here actually goes to Women and Children's Hospitals. So you guys got to make sure you get out here, not only for the good beer, but for a good cause as well.
Absolutely. So we were, we're talking, and there's, I think, a lot of similarities between, or parallels between the craft of making ice cream and making beer. So, Brian, we wanted to kind of ask you, what got you into the business of making ice cream, and what kind of parallels do you see in the industry?
Sure. No, Perry started in 1918, my great-grandfather, but he was delivering milk for his first 16 years. And after that, it kind of got a little boring. Delivering milk kind of boring. So somebody asked if he'd make ice cream for him. So he took his mother's recipe and made his first batch on the kitchen stove, which kind of gets to what we were talking about, what the similarities are between beer and ice cream. And Jason was saying earlier that it's done the same way, kind of like on a kitchen stove, a small batch, try it out and see what happens. And that's what he did with a 2-gallon batch. And today, we still make them 1 batch at a time, but our batch is now 800 gallons. Jason gets to his bigger batches too. So there's a lot of similarities between, ice cream and beer. You put them together, look what you get.
Deliciousness
That's
is what
awesome.
you get.
It is, yeah. Outside of just me enjoying both ice cream and beer, there are a lot of parallels between ice cream and beer. I can see that. Yeah.
That's the most important one.
That definitely is.
So yeah, I mean, you guys have grown to such a large company at this point. Started as small as you're talking. Now we're a global, international company and everything. What kind of values do you guys tend to really hold true to yourselves? Like, what kind of core values do you really tend to keep even today as you guys expand?
So we always start with the best ingredients we can get. We've always been local, being local. Of course, milk you really can get local. Western Europe's a great place to get fresh milk. So basically, all of our milk comes with from Western New York, from the Upstate Niagara Milk Co-op, fresh off the farms. It's fresh, not even pasteurized at that point. We take that and do that internally ourselves. But we, no matter if we're making the Perry's brand or other brands that we make, like we said internationally or for other national companies, we treat them all the same. We make them all, the best we can. Quality is consistency, and everybody has their own favorite flavors, their own favorite type of ice creams. And as long as we make it the way they want it, then they're happy, and you get a good customer, and you build a business to the point where, like we are today, we're 350 employees and about 12 million gallons of ice cream. It's a lot of ice cream.
That's a lot of ice cream.
I think it's fascinating that I read that you guys get 98% of your milk from within 50 miles of
that we
the
can
facility.
guarantee. Most times it's even 100%, but we got a little slack in there in case they have a little hiccup in their
Right around that
system.
51-mile mark.
Right,
yeah,
51-mile mark.
Wandering
You never
cows.
know.
Well, we definitely know about trying to source local ingredients, right? I mean, the freshest local ingredients that we can get, and so we can appreciate on the huge scale that you're operating that you're still getting those local ingredients.
Don't lose that focus.
Awesome.
So speaking of ingredients, and look, Jason, we should probably we should ask you.
Talk about this beer.
We should talk about this beer that we're here for. Yeah. So tell us, how much ice cream did you put in this beer?
Pat, so just to enlighten you, we put about 0 ounces of ice cream in this beer.
You can say that for a
0
fact.
ounces.
Wow.
Okay.
Sorry. No, so what we did with this beer, we tried to find a beer style that would also contrast the ice cream a little bit to kind of give it a really nice pairing if you would have the ice cream and the beer itself or together. I mean, so we chose a porter as kind of base beer for this. So you kind of get like a mild chocolatey flavor and a mild or like restrained kind of roastiness, a little bit of nutty character. But then inside of all of that, you get the core flavors that you get in the pumpkin pie ice cream, which is for the way we get it is by using Jamaican allspice berries, fresh nutmeg that we've hand zested. We also
hand zested.
Yeah, so we actually got the berries itself, and Greg or actually our intern Pat sat there and used a microplaner and just zested all the nutmeg, right? Well, we wanted to keep it fresh, right? You can buy the powder, but the powder's not as fresh, and we want the flavor to really come through. So in addition to that, we use some Vietnamese cinnamon. We use a little coriander just to kind of give a little bit of floral spice and citrus character, but that doesn't really come through. It kind of just brings everything together. And then, after the beer is fermented, we further aged it with whole cinnamon sticks as well as Madagascar vanilla. So that vanilla character really helps the beer resemble like the vanilla ice cream backbone, that they use in the pumpkin pie, as well as kind of give a little bit of sweetness. So in that, you kind of get the finish. So, when you drink this beer, you're not only getting that pumpkin pie flavor you get in the ice cream, but you're also getting that kind of chocolate and roastiness. So together, they make a wonderful pairing.
Wow. And there's like 144 pounds of pumpkins.
I almost forgot the most important part. Yes, 144 pounds of pumpkin we use in this beer as well. And that was added in the mash and the kettle. So equally.
Well, I'm really thirsty now that you explained all that.
Now that you've talked enough about this,
try
the only way to really figure out is
so it's 6.4%, 20 IBUs.
That's right.
Yep.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Oh yeah.
So you get those flavors, right?
Oh,
You definitely get
totally.
Spices.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely get that allspice kind of clovey like flavors to it. Which
Yeah,
is
clove,
amazing. You
little
can tell the freshness of it.
Wow.
Is right
It's
on
very
point.
smooth, and it's got a nice sweet character to it, but it's not overly sweet, right? It's
Yeah.
a little tempered with the spices.
No, yeah, and the spices really kind of enhance, a little bit of the bitterness that's in there, right? And the bitterness is really just to keep the beer in balance. You don't want it overly sweet for a porter. You also don't want it bitter.
Yeah.
You kind of really want a balanced beer. And for this, that kind of, you may take it as bitterness in the finish, but it's really more that spice character. Right?
Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
You got to get the clove, you get the ginger, a little bit of cardamom, right? All of these flavors are what you would get in a pumpkin pie spice.
That's very good. Good
Wow.
job, Jason.
Well, so there's no
Good job
pumpkin
in
in,
the
there's no ice cream in that beer.
No, but we should put ice cream in
I
that.
think
we
that we
probably
should
put
do
some
that,
ice
right?
cream in
So,
there, definitely.
I mean, earlier Joe was saying how much he loves ice cream in his beer, so.
we got ourselves some pumpkin pie ice cream here, and we are
Wow.
going to make a float.
My apologies if there's a couple scoops already taken out of that cork there.
Yeah, you got a
I had
little
to
bit.
do it.
Oh,
yeah.
Grab a spoon here. I'm
Joe,
gonna
you want
stick
to
it right
right
in there.
for you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll take a rip from the scoop. That's perfect.
You want it right? You want
It's
it
fun
right
to
from the
play,
scoop?
too.
Here, that's right from the scoop for you. Yeah, perfect.
Oh, there you go, Brian. I'm going to make a mess.
A little bit of the
I'm
beer
gonna
there.
get
There we
you
go.
some.
Here, you
might
can
as
just
well
do
do
this.
that.
You can just put one in his glass.
There you
Perfect,
go.
right? You can serve like
There
that.
you go. Perfect.
Straight from the scoop. It's amazing.
Make sure you leave yourselves a little room when you're going to do
Yeah,
it.
I'll just
absolutely.
put that one in your glass. I'll take
You know, we
it.
have experimented with this though. We've done Walter's Jelly Donut in the black raspberry, and that was phenomenal. I'm telling you, that was awesome. We also did
How's it,
Hand
Joe?
Pause Porter with
That's
it in
amazing.
there. That was awesome as well.
You just been your dessert, but
This is a really tough job that we have eating ice cream and drinking beer.
Yeah, but you got to finish that one too, Joe.
Of course, absolutely.
Before this event is over.
I can't be having brain freeze and trying to get back to this.
Well, we
Guys.
encourage you guys. You got to come out here. You got to try this
Try.
beer. Tapping at 5 o'clock tonight. Remember, $1 from every pint gets donated to Women and Children's Hospital. So come out, bring your friends, bring your family, gather around a table, try a new pumpkin beer, help some people in the community, and check out New York Beer Project.
Yeah.
Brian, thank you for
yeah.
coming on. We sincerely appreciate you being here and being our guest.
thanks
And
for choosing us. We appreciate
Of course.
it. Working together.
we couldn't choose a better partner. So
Cheers,
Cheers.
everybody.
Cheers.
Till next
come
week.
on down.